governors of Israel, that offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord. Speak, ye that ride on white asses, ye that sit in judgment and walk by the way, they that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah, awake, awake, utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinoam. Then he made him that remaineth have dominion over the nobles among the people. The Lord made me have dominion over the mighty. Of Ephraim was there a root of them against Amalek. After thee, Benjamin, among thy people. Out of Maker came down governors, and out of Zebulun they that handle the writer. And the princes of Issachar were with Deborah, even Issachar, and also Barak. He was sent on foot into the valley. For the division of Reuben there were great thoughts of heart. Why abodest thou among the sheepfolds, to hear the bleatings of the flocks? For the divisions of Reuben there were great searchings of heart. Gilead abode beyond Jordan. And why did Dan remain in ships? Asher continued on the seashore, and abode in his breaches. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people that jeoparded their lives unto the death, in the high places of the field. The kings came and fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan and Taanach by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. They fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The river of Kishon swept them away, that ancient river, the river Kishon. O my soul, thou hast trodden down strength. Then were the horse hoofs broken by the means of the prancings of their mighty ones. Curse ye, Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not to the help of the Lord, the help of the Lord against the mighty. Blessed above women shall Jael, the wife of Heber the king, be. Blessed shall she be above women tent. He asked water, and she gave him milk. She brought forth butter in a lordly dish. She put her hand to the nail, and her right hand to the workman's hammer. And with the hammer she smote Sisera. She smote off his head when she had pierced and stricken through his temples. At her feet he bowed. He lay down. At her feet he bowed. He fell. Where he bowed, there he fell down dead. The mother of Sisera looked out at a window and cried through the lattice, Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? Her wise ladies answered her, Yea, she returned answer to herself. Have they not sped? Have they not divided the prey? To every damsel or two? To sit a prey of divers colors? A
So
prey
guys,
of
welcome,
divers
welcome.
colors of needlework? Of divers colors of needlework on both sides? Meet for the necks of them that take the spoil? So
Welcome
let all thine
guys.
enemies perish, O Lord. But let them that love him be the sun when he goeth forth in his might,
Good
and
po.
had rest 40
Welcome.
years. Chapter 6. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains, and caves, and strongholds. And so it was when Israel had sown, that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites, and the children of the east, even they came up against them. And they encamped against them, and destroyed the increase of the earth, till thou come into
Welcome, sweet Dina.
sustenance for
Welcome.
Israel, neither sheep,
Thank you
nor
for
ox, nor ass.
joining.
For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they
Mega
came
love
as
shoutout
grass
sa'yo.
for multitude. For both they and their camp were without number,
Kumusta
and
na?
they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the
Salamat
Midianites.
po. Thank you
And the
po.
children of Israel cried unto the Lord.
Mega love shoutout
And it
sa'yo,
came to
Ma'am
pass when the
Juna
children of Israel
Cruz.
cried unto the Lord because of the Midianites,
Thank you,
that the
Ma'am.
Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus
Pansinin mo,
saith the Lord
mo
God of
naman ako,
Israel,
host.
I brought you up from Egypt, and
Welcome,
brought you
salamat po.
forth out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell, but ye have not obeyed my voice. And there came an angel of the Lord, and sat under an oak, which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite. And his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress, to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him, and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said to him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us, and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. And the Lord looked upon him and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? And he said unto him, O my Lord, where shall I save Israel? Behold, family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And the Lord said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man. And he said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that thou talkest with me. Depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee. And he said, Until thou come again. And Gideon went in, and made ready a kid, and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and brought it out unto him under the oak, and presented it. And the angel of God said unto him, Take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so.
Tamsak bro.
Then the angel of the Lord put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes. And there rose up fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. And when Gideon perceived that he was an angel of the Lord, Gideon said, Alas, O Lord God, for because I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said unto him, Peace be unto thee. Fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called it Jehovah Shalom. Unto this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father hath, and cut down the grove that is by it, and build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock, in the ordered place, and take the second bullock, and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove which thou shalt cut down. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants, and did as the Lord had said unto him. And so it was, because he feared his father's household and the men of the city, that he could not do it by day, that he did it by night. And when the men of the city arose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it. And the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. And they said one to another, Who hath done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they, Gideon, the son of Joash, hath done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, Bring out thy son that he may die, because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, Will ye plead for Baal? Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death whilst it is yet morning. If he be a god, let him plead for himself, because one hath cast down his altar. Therefore on that day he called him Jerubbaal, saying, Let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together, and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abiezer was gathered after him. And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also gathered after him. And he sent messengers unto Asher, and unto Zebulun, and unto Naphtali. And they came. And Gideon said unto God, If thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece hole in the floor, and if the dew in the fleece only, and it be dry upon all the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said. And it was so. For he rose up early on the morrow and thrust the fleece together, and wringed out of the fleece a bowl full of water. And Gideon said unto God, Let not thine anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night. For it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. Chapter 7. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early, and pitched beside the well of Harod, that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them, by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, Mine own hand hath saved me. Now therefore go to.
Welcome guys, welcome to RG Vlog
Whoever is
You.
fearful
Thank
and
you for
afraid,
joining.
let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned to the people 20 and 2,000, and there remained 10,000. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, This shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I
Welcome
say unto
guys,
thee,
thank you for
This shall
joining.
not go with thee, the same shall not go. So he brought down the people unto the water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, Every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, every one that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men.
Thank you
But
for
all the
joining
rest of the
guys.
people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, By the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand. And let all the other people go, every man unto his place. So the people took victuals in their hand, and their trumpets. And he sent all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the host of Midian was beneath him in the valley. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Phurah thy servant down to the host, and thou shalt hear what they say, and afterward shall thine hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then went he down with Phurah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshoppers for multitude, and their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came into a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent lay along. And his fellow answered and said, This is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. For into his hand hath God delivered Midian, and all the host. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation
No problem bro.
that he
Basta
worshipped,
free lang.
and
Salamat
returned into
ma'am
the host
from
of Israel, and said,
Thank you ma'am.
Arise, for the Lord hath delivered into your hand the host of Midian. And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put a trumpet in every man's hand, with empty pitchers and lamps within the pitchers. And he said unto them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow with the trumpet, I and all that are with me, then blow ye the trumpets also on every side of all the camp, and say, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men
Welcome
that were with
guys.
him came unto the
Welcome.
outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch. And they had but newly set the watch. And they blew the trumpets, and brake the pitchers that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the trumpets, and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands, and the trumpets in their right hands, to blow withal. And they cried, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp. And all the host ran, and cried, and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets. And the Lord set every man's sword against fellow, even throughout all the host. And the host fled to Bethshittah and Zererath, and to the border of Abel Maholah unto Tabbath. And the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali, and out of Asher, and out of all Manasseh, and pursued after the Midianites. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all Mount Ephraim, saying, Come down against the Midianites, and take before them the waters unto Bethbara and Jordan. Then all the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together, and took the waters unto Bethbara and Jordan. And they took two princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeb. And they slew Oreb upon the rock Oreb. And Zeb they slew at the winepress of Zeb, and pursued Midian, and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon on the other side Jordan. Chapter 8. And the men of Ephraim said unto him, Why hast thou done thus, that thou calledst us not when thou wentest to fight with the Midianites? And they did chide with him sharply. And he said unto them, What have I done now in comparison of you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abiezer? God hath delivered into your hands the princes of Midian, Oreb and Zeb. And what was I able to do in
God bless you,
comparison
ma'am.
of
Thank
you?
you for joining.
Then their anger was
Welcome,
abated
guys.
for them when he had said that. And Gideon came to Jordan and passed over,
Hi,
he
from
and the 300 men that were
Michael.
with him, faint,
Welcome
yet
po.
pursuing them.
Thank you for
And he
joining.
said unto the men of Succoth, Give, I pray you, loaves
Yan
of
ang
bread
bahay
unto the
natin.
people
Ay,
that
bigyan po
follow
yung
me,
jacket niya.
for they be faint. And I am pursuing after Zebah and Zalmunna, kings of
Welcome,
Midian.
guys.
And the princes of Succoth said, Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in thine hand, that we should give bread unto thine army? And Gideon said, Therefore, when the Lord hath delivered Zebah and Zalmunna into mine hand, then I will tear your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with briars. And he went up thence to Penuel, and spake unto them likewise. And the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered him. And he
Salamat,
spake
ma'am.
also
Salamat
unto
po
the
sa
men of
pag-join
Penuel,
dito.
saying, When I come again in peace, I will break down
Mega
this
love shout
tower.
out po. Salamat po sa
Now
thumbs up
Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor, and their
from
hosts with them, about
staff.
15,000 men, all that were left of all the hosts of the children of the east. For there fell
Salamat po.
120,000 men
Salamat
that
po.
drew sword. And Gideon went up by the way of them that dwelt in tents on the east of Nobah and
Thumbs up God
Jogbaha,
from
and smote
Far
the host,
Sky.
for the host was secure.
Salamat po, sir.
And
Salamat po.
when Zebah and
Bro,
Zalmunna
thank you for
fled,
joining.
he pursued after them, and took the two kings of Midian, Zebah and Zalmunna, and discomfited all the host. And Gideon the son of Joash returned from battle before the sun was up, and caught a young man of the men of Succoth, and inquired of him. And he
Ito
described
pala
unto
si
him
Kwan,
the
guys. Si
princes
Ma'am
of
Tuna,
Succoth,
mabait po to.
and the
Counter
elders
namin
thereof,
sa Kwan
even
na
70
teaching
men.
stream po.
And he came unto the men of Succoth, and
Saka
said,
po si Ma'am Leslie,
Behold,
mabait po sila.
Zebah and Zalmunna, with whom ye did upbraid me, saying, Are the hands of Zebah
Thumbs up
and
God
Zalmunna
post
now in
from
thine hand, that we should give
Stang.
bread
Let's go.
unto
Thank
thy
you
men
po.
that are weary?
Thank
And
you,
he took the
buddy.
elders of the city, and thorns of the wilderness and briars, and with them he taught the men of Succoth. And he beat down the tower of Penuel, and slew the men of the city.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Then said he unto Zebah and Zalmunna, What manner of men were they whom ye slew at Tabor? And they answered, As thou
Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you.
each one resembled the children of a king. And he said, They were my brethren, even the sons of my mother. As the Lord liveth, if ye had saved them alive, I would not slay you. And he said unto Jether his firstborn, Up and slay them. But the youth drew not his sword, for he feared because he was yet a youth. Then Zebah and Zalmunna said,
Thumbs up post from DC Dulan. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining, ma'am. Welcome.
And Gideon arose and slew Zebah and Zalmunna, and took away the ornaments that were on their camels' necks. Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son, and also, for thou hast delivered us from the hand of Midian. And Gideon said unto them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you.
Thank you for joining, guys.
Gideon said unto them, I would desire a request of you, that ye would give me every man the earrings of his prey, for they had golden earrings, because they were Ishmaelites. And they answered, We will willingly give them. And they spread a garment, and did cast therein every man the earrings of his prey. And the weight of the golden earrings that he requested was 1,700 shekels of gold, beside ornaments and collars and purple raiment that was on the kings of Midian, and beside the chains that were about their
Welcome,
camels' necks.
guys.
And Gideon made an ephod thereof, and put it in his city, even in Ophrah. And all Israel went thither a whoring after it, which thing became a snare unto Gideon and to his house. Thus was Midian subdued before the children of Israel, so that they lifted up theirs no more. And the country was in quietness 40 years in the days of Gideon. And Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, went and dwelt in his own house. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. And Gideon, the son of Joash, died in a good old age, and was buried in the sepulchre of Joash his father.
Welcome, hello po host from Surly Parion. Welcome ma'am, thank you for joining.
Turned again, and went a whoring after Balaam, and made Baal Berith their god. And the children of Israel remembered not the Lord their God, who had delivered them out of
Welcome
the hand of
guys,
all
thank
their
you for
enemies on
joining.
every side. Neither showed they kindness to the house of Jerubbaal, namely Gideon, according to all the goodness which he had showed unto Israel. Chapter 9. And Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal, went to Shechem unto his mother's
Guys,
brethren,
thank you for
and
joining
communed
guys.
and with all the family of the house of his mother's father, saying, Speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shechem, whether is better for you, either that all the sons of Jerubbaal, which are 70 persons, reign over you, or that one reign over you. Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh. And his mother's brethren
Support po
spake
sa
of him
nakapin guys, thank you po.
men of
Salamat
Shechem
po.
all these words. And their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, He is our brother. And they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Baal Berith, wherewith Abimelech hired vain and light persons which followed him. And he went unto his father's house at Ophrah, and slew his brethren, the sons of Jerubbaal, being 70 persons, upon one stone. Notwithstanding, yet Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal,
Welcome
was
guys,
left,
thank you for joining
for he
guys.
hid himself. And all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the house of Millo, and went and made Abimelech king by the plain of the pillar that was in Shechem. And when they told it to Jotham, he went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice, and cried, and said unto them, Hearken unto me.
Welcome guys, thank you for joining.
God may hearken unto you. The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king for them. And they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us. But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the trees said to the fig tree, Come thou, and reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, Should I leave
Welcome
my
babes,
vine,
thank you for joining.
God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?
Yan,
Then
may
said all the trees unto the bramble,
Jack.
Come thou and reign over us. And the bramble said unto the tree, If in truth ye anoint me king over you,
Okay.
then come and put your
May
trust.
jacket na po kayo.
And if not,
Ibaba ng
fire
bahay po.
come out of the bramble, and devour the cedars of Lebanon. Now therefore, if ye have done truly and sincerely, in that ye have made Abimelech king, and if ye have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and
At
have done
kasi
unto him
itulandan.
according to the deserving of his
Full
hands,
packages.
for my father fought for you, and
Magkabalik ng
ventured his
subject.
life far,
Thanks
and
from
delivered you
Junali
out of the
Lacrosse.
hand
Thank
of
you po
Midian,
ma'am.
and ye are risen up against my father's house.
Salamat po from
Slain
babes.
his sons, 70
Welcome,
persons
thank you
upon
po.
one
Thank you for
stone,
joining. God
and have
bless
made
you po.
Abimelech, the son of his maidservant,
Sana
king
po
over the
ma-enjoy
men
kayo
of
sa
Shechem,
background music ko.
because he is your brother. If ye then have dealt truly and sincerely with Jerubbaal and with his house this day,
At kasi itulandan po from this Philippines. Thank you po ma'am. Thank you for support.
let fire come out from Abimelech and devour the men of Shechem and the house of Millo, and let fire come out from the men of Shechem and from the house of Millo and devour Abimelech. And Jotham ran away and fled, and went to Beer and dwelt there. for
Welcome
fear of
guys.
Abimelech,
Thank
his
you for
brother.
joining guys.
When Abimelech had reigned 3 years over Israel, then God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech.
This is dikit na po from Surly Parion.
And their blood be laid
Thank
upon
you po.
Abimelech,
Thank you for supporting.
and upon the men of Shechem, which aided him in the killing of his brethren. And the men
Thank
of
you so much,
Shechem
guys. Thank you for
before
joining.
him in the top of the mountains, and they robbed all that came along that way by them. And it was told Abimelech. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, came with his brethren and went over to Shechem. And the men of Shechem put their confidence in him. And they
Thumbs
went
up at DC Idolan from
and
from
troubled
RGD
and
Vlog.
made merry,
Thank you
and went into
po.
the house of their God, and did eat and drink, and cursed Abimelech. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, said, Who is Abimelech?
Invite ko pin
And who
po
is
kayo
Shechem,
sa
that you
edits
serve
ko
him?
bukas 8
Is
p.m.
not
Pinas
he
time
son of Jerubbaal,
from
and
Babes.
Zebul his officer?
Okay po,
So
please
the men of Shechem, the
paki
father of Shechem, For
amsak
why
or
should we
support
serve him?
sa
And would
premiere
to
po
God this
ni
people were
Babes.
under my hand. Then I would remove Abimelech. And he said to Abimelech, Increase thine army and come out. And when Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the words of Gaal, the son of Ebed, his anger was kindled. And he sent messengers unto Abimelech privily, saying, Behold, Gaal, the son of Ebed, and his brethren be come to Shechem. And behold, they fortify the city against thee. Now therefore, up by night, thou and the people that is with thee, and lie in wait in the field. And it shall be that
Paki-support po sa naka-page. Salamat po.
the sun is up, thou shalt rise early and set upon the city. And behold, when he and the people that is with him come out against thee, then mayest thou do to them as thou shalt find occasion. And Abimelech rose up, and all the people that were with him by night, and they laid wait against Shechem in 4 companies. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, went out and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And Abimelech rose up,
At big
and the people that
at
were
big
with him lying in wait.
tamsak kalimbang.
And when Gaal saw the people, he said,
From RGD Vlog.
Behold, there come people
Okay
down
na,
from the
thumbs
top
up
of
na
the
po.
mountains. And Zebul said unto him, Thou seest
Salamat
the
po,
shadow of the
host.
mountains,
Welcome.
that they were men.
Welcome.
And Gaal spake again and said, See, there come people down by the middle of the land, and another company come along by the plain of Meonanim. Then said Zebul unto him, Where is now thy mouth, wherewith thou saidst, Who is Abimelech?
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining.
Is not this the people that thou hast despised? Go out, I pray now, and fight with them. And Gaal went out before the men of Shechem and fought with Abimelech. Abimelech chased him, and he
Bye
fled
mo,
before
RGD
him,
Vlog.
and many were
Sabi ni
overthrown
Tips.
and wounded unto the entering of the gate. And dwelt in Rumah. And Zebul thrust out Gaal and his brethren, that they should dwell in Shechem. And it came to pass on the morrow that the people went out into the field, and they told Abimelech. And he took the people and divided them into 3 companies, and laid wait in the field, and looked. And behold, the people were come forth out of the city. And he rose up against them, and smote them. And Abimelech and the company that was with him rushed forward and stood in the entering of the
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining.
And the 2 other companies ran upon all the people that were in the fields and slew them. And Abimelech fought against the city all that day. And he took the city, and slew the people that was therein, and beat down the city, and sowed it with salt. And when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into an hold at the house of the god Berith. And it was told Abimelech that all the men of the tower of Shechem were
Bye mo daw, RGD Vlog.
And Abimelech
Sabi ni
gat him up
Tips.
to Mount Zelman, he and all the people that
Sweet
were with
naman
him.
ito.
And Abimelech took an axe in his hand, and cut down a bough from the trees, and took it and laid it on his shoulder,
Tips.
and said unto the people that were with him,
Torgera.
What ye have me do, make
Dikit na
haste,
po.
and do as I
From
have done.
Surly Barion.
And all the people likewise cut down every man his
O
bough,
yan na,
and
bumaba
followed
ng
Abimelech,
bahay si Kan po.
and
Si
put them to the hold, and
RGD
set the
Vlog.
hold on fire upon them. So the men of the tower of Shechem died also, about 1,000 men.
Support
and
na lang,
women.
thank you.
Then went Abimelech to Thebez, and encamped against Thebez, and took it. But there was a strong tower within
At
the city,
RG.
and thither fled all the men and women, and
Ang
all
gawin
they
na
of the city,
from
and shut it
Babes.
to them, and gapped them up to the top of the tower. And Abimelech came unto the tower, and
Naka-jacket na po.
and went
Naka-jacket
hard
na po
unto the door of the
si...
tower to
Yun,
burn it with
naka-jacket na.
fire. And a certain woman cast a piece of a
Jacket na po.
millstone upon Abimelech's head, and all to break his skull.
Baba ng bahay po. Surly Barion.
And said unto him,
Naka-jacket na po kayo.
Draw thy sword and slay me, that men say not of me, a woman slew him. And his young man thrust him through, and he died. And when the men of Israel
How are you,
saw
sir?
dead, they
How are you,
departed
sir?
every man unto his place. Thus God rendered
Welcome.
the wickedness of Abimelech, which he did unto his
Nabil
father in slaying his
Car.
70
Welcome.
brethren. And all the evil of the men of Shechem did God
At
render upon
Ortisa
their
Dan,
heads,
full pack.
and upon them came the
Balik ko lang
curse of
with
Jotham, the
thanks
son
from
of Jerubbaal.
Santa Cruz.
Chapter 10.
Dan
And
RG
after
Vlog,
Abimelech,
visit ka
there
sa
arose to
Ilis ko
defend
bukas.
Israel
Salamat po
Hoshea,
from
the
Babes.
son of Pua, the son of
Ortisa
Dodo,
Videos.
a man of Issachar, and he dwelt in Shamer in Mount Ephraim.
Thank
And
you
he
po
judged
from
Israel
RG
23
Vlog.
years, and died, and was buried in Shamer. And after him arose Jair, a Gileadite, and judged Israel 22 years. And he had 30 sons that
Copy
rode on 30
ticks to
ascolts,
stop.
and they had
Dave
30
expiring
cities,
after 1
which
hour.
are called Havoth Jair
From
unto this
City,
day,
are
in the
you?
land of Gilead. And Jair died, and was buried in Canaan.
RG dating
And the
dikit po
children of
from
Israel did
Isidulan.
evil again in the sight of the Lord, and served Baalim, and Ashtaroth, and the gods of Syria, and the gods of Zidon, and the gods of Moab, and the gods of the
Welcome
children of
guys, thank you for
Ammon,
joining.
and the gods of the Philistines, and forsook the Lord, and served not him. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
Shirley,
And he sold
on
them
the way
into
po
the hands of
from
the
Babes.
Philistines, and into the hands of the children of Ammon. And
Thank
that
you guys,
year
thank you for supporting each
cursed
other
the
guys.
children of Israel. 18 years, all the children of Israel that were on the other side Jordan in the land of
Leslie
the Amorites.
Fuentes, payo po ma'am from
Moreover,
DC
the children
Idolan.
of Ammon passed over Jordan to fight also against Judah,
Tusok, welcome.
and against the house of Ephraim.
Ilards TV, welcome po sa iyo, sir.
And the children of Israel
At
cried
Shirley
unto the
Barion,
Lord, saying,
on the way sa bahay mo
"We have
po
sinned
from
against
RGD
thee,
Vlog.
both because we have
Morning
forsaken thy
host,
law,
welcome.
and also served
Bigyan na
Baal."
kita ng jacket
And the
agad.
Lord said unto the children of Israel,
Oh, naka-jacket na
"Did
pala.
not I deliver you from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and
Hello
from the
guys, please
Philistines?
palab-lab po
Gilead
ng
also,
primer ko.
and the Amalekites,
Maya guys,
and the
salamat
Maonites did oppress you.
from
And ye
Lilards
cried to
TV.
me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me, and served other gods.
Please po, paki-support po sa nakapin. Salamat po.
Go and cry unto the
Thank you
gods
guys.
which
Thank you
ye have
once again. Thank you for joining
served,
guys.
deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And the children of Israel said unto the Lord, We have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day. And they put away the strange gods from among them, and served the Lord. And his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. Then the children of Ammon were gathered together, and encamped in Gilead. And the children of Israel assembled themselves together, and encamped in Mizpeh. And the people and princes of Gilead said,
Dan sa nakapin from Lilards. Thank you po.
to fight against the children of Ammon. He shall be
Welcome,
able to
Blessed
all
Foods.
the
Thank you for
inhabitants of
joining.
the land.
Bigyan kita ng jacket agad. Yan po, naka-jacket na.
Chapter 11. Now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor.
Tamsak Pos, yung galab shout out sa iyo. Thank you po.
Gilead begat
Blessed Foods, thank you for joining. Welcome po dito.
bore him sons. And his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah, and said unto him, Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren, and dwelt in the land of Tob. And there were gathered vain men to Jephthah, and went out with him. And it came to
At
pass
Shirley Barion, Dan dikit po sa iyo from RGD Vlog.
against Israel. And it was so that when the children of Ammon
Thank you
made
po guys. Thank you for joining once
the
again.
elders of Gilead went to fetch Jephthah
Welcome
out
po.
of the land of Tob.
Enjoy po sa background
And they
music
said
ko.
unto Jephthah, Come and be our captain, that we may fight with the children of Ammon. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, Did not ye hate me, and expel me out of my father's house?
Welcome host from
Why
Blessed
are ye come unto
Foods.
me now when ye are in distress?
At Lilards TV, on the way sa bahay mo from
Therefore, we
RGD
pray
Vlog.
again to thee now, that thou mayest go with us, and fight against
RGD
the
Vlog,
children
Dan
of
dikit
Ammon,
na po
and be our head
from
over all the inhabitants
Shirley
of the
Barion.
And Jephthah said unto the
Thank you
elders of
po.
Gilead,
Thank
If
you
ye
po
bring
sa
me home
support.
again to fight against the children of Ammon, and the Lord deliver them before me, shall I be your head? And the elders of Gilead
Welcome guys.
The Lord be witness between us, if we do not so according to thy words. Then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and captain over them. And Jephthah uttered all his words before the Lord in Mizpeh. And Jephthah sent messengers unto the king of the children of Ammon, saying, What hast thou to do with me, that thou art come against me to fight in my land? And the king of the children of Ammon answered unto the messengers of Jephthah, Because Israel took away my land, when they came up out of Egypt, from Arnon even unto Jabbok, and unto Jordan. Now therefore restore those lands again peaceably. And Jephthah sent messengers again unto the king of the children of Ammon, and said unto him, Thus saith Jephthah, Israel took not away the land of
At
Moab,
Pillars
nor the
TV,
land of the
dikit
children of
kalimbang
Ammon.
sa
But
Premier
when
Nick po
Israel came up
from
from
RGD
Egypt
Vlog.
and walked through the wilderness
Actually,
unto the
thank
Red
you
Sea,
from
and
RGD
came to
Vlog.
Kadesh, then Israel sent
Thank you guys for
messengers unto the
joining.
king of Edom,
Welcome
saying,
guys.
Let me, I pray thee, pass through thy land. But the king of Edom would not hearken thereto. And in like manner,
Thank you for
they
joining
sent unto the
guys.
king of
Welcome
Jabesh,
sa lahat po.
and he
God
would
bless you
not
po.
consent. And Israel abode in Kadesh. Then they went along through the wilderness and compassed the land of Edom and the land of
DC
Moab,
Dolandan sa bahay mo po
east side of the land of Moab, and
from
pitched on the
Babes.
other side of Arnon, but came not within the
At
border of
least it
Moab.
was on the way sa
Arnon
bahay
was the
niyo
border of Moab.
from
And
RGD
Israel
Vlog.
sent
Welcome
messengers
guys.
unto
Thank you
Sihon,
for
king of
joining.
the Amorites, the king of Heshbon. And Israel said unto him, Let us pass, we pray thee, through thy land into my place. But Sihon trusted not Israel to pass through his coast. But Sihon gathered all his people together and pitched in Jahaz and fought against Israel.
Thank you guys. Thank you for joining guys. Welcome po sa lahat dito.
And all his people into the hand of Israel, and they smote them. So Israel
Pa-support po
possessed
sa
all the
nakapin.
land
Thank you
of the
po.
Amorites, the inhabitants of
Pillars
Israel,
TV
and
on
they
the way po
possessed
sa iyo
all
from
the
Babes
cities of the Amorites, from
Turkiza
Arnon
Videos.
even unto Jabbok, and from
Thank
the
you po.
wilderness
Thank you for
even
joining.
unto Jordan. So now the Lord God of Israel hath dispossessed the Amorites from before his people Israel. And
At
shouldest
least it
thou
was
possess
thumbs
them?
up
Wilt not thou
tayo.
possess the
Premier
land
Neo
which
na rin po
thy God giveth thee to possess?
from RGD Vlog.
So
Thank you
here shall
po.
the
Thank you
Lord
for
our God
supporting each
provide
other
us
guys.
for us. Them will we possess. And now art thou anything better than Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he ever strive against Israel, or did he ever fight against them, while Israel dwelt
Welcome. Tansaktan po host. Galag chat out sa iyo. New player.
in all the cities that
Welcome
be
po.
along by the coasts of Arnon?
Yan
For
po. Jacket na po kayo. Erickson. Sirda.
in that time.
Thank you for joining po sir. Welcome dito po.
But thou doest me wrong.
Welcome mga pusing.
The Lord, the judge,
Pillars TV dan na po
between the children of
from
Israel
Babes.
and the children of Ammon.
Copy please.
The children of Ammon hearken not unto the words of Jephthah, which he sent him.
Tosok post from Tatay Pantay.
The Lord came upon
Thank you
Jephthah,
po, kapatid.
and he passed away
Thank you
from
for joining, ha.
Manasseh, and passed
Welcome po
over
dito.
Mizpeh of Gilead.
Yan
And
po,
from
bigyan na
Mizpeh
kita
of
ng
Gilead,
jacket.
he passed
Oh,
over unto the children of
Masbrado,
Ammon.
di ka malamigan.
And Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord, and
Welcome po
said,
sa lahat dito.
Thou shalt without fail
Thank you
deliver
for
the
joining,
children of
guys.
Ammon into mine hands. Then it shall be that
Galap
thou
shout out
shalt
po, Tatay Panday from RTV Vlog.
when I return in peace from the children
Thank
of
you, Tay.
Ammon,
Thank you for joining,
shall
Tay.
be yours, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. So Jephthah passed over unto the children of Ammon to fight against them, and the Lord delivered them into his hands. And he smote them from Aroer even till thou come to Minnith, even 20 cities, and unto the plain of the vineyards,
This
with a
was
very
that
great
po
slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued
from
before the
Babes.
children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpeh unto his house, and behold,
Guys,
his
nakapin
daughter
po,
came out to
support
meet him
lang
with
po.
timbrels
Thank you
and with
po.
dances, and she was his only child. Beside her he
Pakasaktikit
had
po
neither son
from
nor
Erickson.
daughter. And it came to
Serda.
pass when he saw her, that he rent his clothes and said, Alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me, for I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. And she said unto him, My father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the
Welcome,
Lord,
guys. Thank you for joining, guys.
according to that which hath proceeded out of thy mouth, for as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of the children of Ammon.
Okay, guys. Nakapin po tayo, guys.
Said unto her father,
Support na lang, guys. Thank you.
Be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains, and bewail my virginity, I and my fellows. And he said, Go. And he sent her away for 2
Thumbs up lang
months,
po.
and she went with her
Tatalang kapit
companions in virginity upon the mountains.
from Tatay Pantay. Okay po.
And it came to
Ikaw
pass
ikaw
at
po
the end of
pusing
2
tatay.
months,
Ilan po.
that she returned unto her
Felix
father,
sir. On the way
according to
sa'yo
his
from
father's
RG
house,
Vlog.
and she knew no man.
Blessed po dan tikit na po from Shirley Barion. Thank you po ma'am. Thank you guys for supporting each other guys. Welcome po kayo dito guys.
Chapter 12. And the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together and went northward, and said unto Jephthah, Wherefore passedst thou over to fight against the children of Ammon, and didst not call us to go with thee? We will burn thine house upon thee with fire.
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
Said unto them, I and my people were at great strife with the children of Ammon. And when I called you, ye delivered me not out of their hands. And when I saw that ye delivered me not, I put my life in my hands, and
That's nakapin from Linux TV.
delivered them into my hand. Wherefore then are ye come up unto me this day to fight against me?
Lilars, bro, pakibaba po ng bahay mo kapatid
And fought with Ephraim.
para
And
ipinta.
Gilead smote Ephraim, because they said, Ye Gileadites are fugitives of Ephraim among the Ephraimites and among the Manassites. And the Gileadites took the passages of Jordan before the Ephraimites. And it was so that when those Ephraimites, which were
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
that the men of Gilead said unto him, Art thou
Bahay,
Ephraimite?
Blessed,
If
on the
he
way
said,
po
Nay,
from Blessed
then
Foods.
said they unto him, Say now, Shibboleth. And he said, Sibboleth, for he could not frame to pronounce it right.
Guys, nakapin po guys. Pasuyin lang po pa
Passages of Jordan.
padikit.
And there fell at that time
Saka
the
paiwan
Ephraimites
pa kasi, thank you po.
42,000. And Jephthah judged Israel 6 years. Then died Jephthah the Gileadite, and was buried in one of the cities of Gilead. And after him,
At Erickson, si Dardan sa'yo from RGT Vlog.
and he had 30 sons and 30 daughters, whom he sent abroad, and took in 30 daughters from abroad for his sons. And he judged Israel 7 years.
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
And was buried at Bethlehem. And after him, Elon, a Zebulunite, judged Israel. And he judged Israel 10 years. And Elon, the Zebulunite, died, and was buried in Ajalon, in the country of Zebulun. And after him, Abdon, the son of Hillel, a Pirathonite, judged Israel. And he had 40 sons and 30 nephews that rode on 70 ass colts. And he judged Israel 8 years. And Abdon, the son of Hillel, the Pirathonite, died, and was buried in Pirathon, in the land of Ephraim, in the mount of the Amalekites.
Hello guys. Welcome guys.
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah,
Bit from Erickson, si Dar.
whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren, and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. And now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah entreated the Lord.
Thank you po. Welcome po.
My Lord, let the man of God which
Thank
thou
you.
hast
Thank you for babes. Thank you po
and
ma'am.
teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born.
Thank you po sa
And
pag-member
God
po.
hearkened to the voice of Manoah. And the angel of God came again unto the woman as she sat in the field. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her. And the woman
Salamat po
made haste,
ma'am.
and ran and showed her husband, and said unto him, Behold, the man hath appeared unto me that came unto me the other day.
Dikit namin ko sa iyo, boss. Salamat po ma'am. Salamat babes. Thank you babes.
Unto him,
Thank you for membership. Thank you po.
and he said, I am. And
Babes,
Manoah
dan po
said,
sa iyo
Now let
from
the
Lillars.
How shall we order the child? And how shall we do unto him? And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman,
Arjeline Rianta, thanks from Erickson Cedar.
neither drink wine or
Thank you
strong
guys. Welcome po sa ating new member po.
all that I
Babes Turkiza Videos. Thank you po ma'am.
said unto the angel of the
Thank you
Lord,
babes for membership.
Let us detain thee.
Welcome po dito po.
For thee. And the angel
For
of the
isa
Lord
po
said unto Manoah,
ay
Though
host
thou detain me, I will not
from
eat thy
babes
bread.
Turkiza Videos. Okay. Thank you po.
Thou must offer it
God
unto
bless
the
you
Lord.
po. Erickson, sir, thank you po sir. from RGD Vlog.
The angel of the Lord, what is thy name? That when thy sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is secret? So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord. And the angel did wondrously. And Manoah
Welcome po guys sa new member ko po.
For it came to pass, and the
Si
flame
Babes,
went
thank
up
you
toward
po.
heaven from off the altar, that the
Welcome po sa
angel
lahat.
of the Lord stood in the flame of the altar. And Manoah and his wife looked on it, and fell on their faces to the ground. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die, because we have seen God. But his wife said unto him, if the Lord were pleased to kill us, he would not have received a burnt offering and a meat offering.
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
All these things, nor would as at this time have told us such things as these. And the
Thank you din po from Babes. Welcome. God bless you, ma'am. God bless you po.
And the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan between Zorah and Eshtaol.
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
Chapter 14. And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised
Guys,
Philistines?
pa-support guys sa nakapingay, yung new member ko po.
Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistines...
Thank you so much guys for joining.
Then went Samson down and his father and his mother to Timnath, and vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have...
Co-host, bigyan love shout out po dyan.
Not his father or his mother.
From Iron Man. Welcome Iron Man.
And she pleased Samson well.
Welcome po guys.
After a time, he returned to take her.
Lars Danley, nasa bahay mo. Salamat po from Babes. Thank you po. Supportahan pa natin yung natin, yung member po. Thank you po. Thank you po sa lahat.
But he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So his father went down to the woman, and Samson made there a feast, so used the young men to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If ye can certainly declare it me within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. But if ye cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets, 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it. And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take that we have? Is it not so?
Bahay mo, shit. Early, bahay mo na, sabi ni Visit Foods.
And lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee?
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
7 days while the feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him. And she told the riddle to the children of her people. And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey? And what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, If ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. And he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. Chapter 15. But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest, that
Nagsupli ako,
Samson
wait lang
visited
po,
his wife
from
and
Blessed
said,
Foods.
he said, I will go into my
Miguel
wife
shout
and
po,
slumber,
for millions in the
not
house.
suffer him to go in. And her father said,
Dan sa'yo,
Verily
babes.
thou hast utterly hated her.
Dan babes,
Therefore I gave her thy companion.
from Blessed
Is
Foods.
not her sister fairer than she?
Welcome guys, thank you for joining guys.
Instead of her.
Miguel shout out po, 5 millions in the house. Welcome
Now shall
all
I
guys,
do
thank you
unto
guys, thank you for joining guys.
So I do them a displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go into the standing corn of the Philistines, and burnt up both the shocks and also the standing corn with the vineyards and olives. Then the Philistines said, Who hath done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion. And the Philistines came up and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said unto them, Though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter. And he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam. Then the Philistines went up and pitched in.
Welcome guys, thank you for joining guys.
And the men of Judah said, Why are ye come up against us? And they answered, To bind Samson.
Thanks Blessed Foods from babes.
Done to us. Then 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the.
Welcome po, Blessed Foods.
Knowest thou not?
Dan RG from Blessed, RG Dan from Blessed Foods.
And he said unto them, As
Please thank you
and they
from
said,
RG Vlog.
That we may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines.
Welcome guys.
Swear unto me that ye will not fall upon me yourselves. And they spake unto him, saying, No, but we will bind thee fast, and deliver thee into their hand. But surely we will not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords, and brought him up from the rock. And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. He found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps. With the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men.
Welcome po, welcome po.
When he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramoth Lehi.
Welcome guys, for joining guys.
And called on the Lord, and said, Thou hast given this great deliverance into the hand of thy servant, and now shall I die for 30
Invite ko po kayo sa Ilis po bukas 8 p.m. Pinas time. Salamat po from Babes Rocky sa videos. Guys, supportahan natin si Babes guys kasi po ito po siya ay bagong member ko. Please guys, supportahan po natin yung kanya premiere niya bukas guys. 8 p.m. po. Pinas. Welcome po.
Chapter 16. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city. And quiet all the night.
Thank you guys for joining. Dan Shirley from Foods.
Make more time.
Shout out from Kuwait, from Caroline Vlog. Oh, may jacket na po. Caroline, nag-jacket ka na po. Pwede ka na malamigan. Siguro sa Kuwait, malamig na po. Mega love shout out, Caroline Vlog from Babes. Salamat po, welcome. Welcome, Caroline. Welcome po sa iyo. Welcome guys. Mega love shout out from Blessed Foods. Herolin Vlog, pakibaba po ng bahay mo. Salamat po sa pag-join nito. Yan na po, kaya na. So guys, bago po to, bagong online ito. Supportan po natin, ipin ko to po. Salamat pala sa pag-support natin kay Babes. Thank you guys for supporting our new member, Babes. Welcome. Na po, lagi kayong online. Kayong min-account mo, dalawin ko yan mamaya. So, hello guys, nakapin po tayo guys ha. Welcome po sa lahat po sa nakapin. Patos po na lang, pa-support po. At Herolin Vlog on the way sa'yo from RTD Vlog. Thank you po sa lahat. Thank you po guys. Thank you for joining. Herolin Vlog, dan sa bahay mo from Bibs. Pasukli na po. Dan na po si Bibs. Salamat host. Welcome Herolin. Welcome po dito. Herolin Dan from Blessed Foods. Salamat po. Salamat po sa support. Thank you for supporting each other guys. RG thanks from Herolin. Welcome guys. Thank you for joining. Hello guys. Nakapin tayo guys. Supportan natin guys. Kumusta dyan ma'am? Di ba malamig sa Kuwait ma'am? Ma'am Herolin sa Kuwait, di ba malamig? Babes, Turkey sa dan sa'yo. From Herolin. Thank you po ma'am. Thank you for supporting each other. Mega love shout out. 5 million people in the house. Welcome sa lahat po. Thank you for joining. Hindi pa malamig from Herolin. Dito po kasi sa Saudi malamig na kaya ito. May jacket ako. Kasi po malamig na. At Herolin Vlog, dan dikit na ako sa iyo po from RGL Vlog. Thank you Ma'am RGL. Thank you for supporting. Saan ka ngayon host, Herolin? Dito po ako ma'am sa Saudi po. Saudi, malamig na po. Malamig kasi sa loob po ng kwarto eh. Malamig ang aircon kaya nag-jacket po ako. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining guys. Thank you for supporting guys. Welcome to my live streaming guys. Baba ka ng bahay, Archie. Puntahan kita from Herolin Vlog. Thank you po, ma'am. Ganun ba? Malamig na dyan? From Herolin. Yes po, malamig na. Lalo na sa loob kasi po, may sa loob po ng kwarto, may aircon. Pero sa labas, malamig na talaga po. Kailangan may jacket. Welcome guys. Big love shout out. 6 million people in the house. Welcome po sa lahat guys. Thank you for joining guys. Flying kiss na po sa lahat. Guys, nakapin po tayo guys. Welcome po sa lahat guys. Welcome po. Thank you for joining. Pasok rin naman dyan at Caroline from Blessed Foods. Ma'am Caroline, please pasok rin lang po kay Blessed Foods. Salamat po. Once again guys, thank you for joining. Suklian lang po tayo guys sa kadikitan po. Welcome, welcome Lifestyle with Taha Ma'am. Welcome po sa iyo. Bigyan na kita ng jacket po. May jacket na po. Welcome po sa iyo ma'am. Thank you for joining. Wow, thank you po. Thank you po sa super chat natin ngayon. Thank you po. Ma'am RCD Vlog, thank you po sa sa palipad. Thank you po ma'am. Maraming salamat po. Bigyan ng maraming Burger host from RCD Vlog. Thank you po ma'am sa burger. Blessing po yan. Bigyan ng maraming kiss yan. Host, you sub me. Kindly there, I sub you already. From Lifestyle with Taha Moms. Okay, okay. Erickson dan sa'yo from Caroline Vlog. Thank you po sa palipad. God bless you po, Ma'am RGD. Okay, next po. Nakapin po ngayon. Lifestyle with Taha Moms. Guys, supportan pa nito.
Make more time.
Welcome po sa lahat. Big love shout out, 6 million in the house. At Lifestyle with Taha Ma'am on the way to your house from RGD. RGD, bakit hindi ko mapindot bahay mo? Nangyari? Saan ang bahay? Nawala ba? Yes, from Lifestyle with Taha's mom. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining guys. Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys. Lifestyle dance sa'yo from Blessed Host. Apod, sorry. Thank you from Lifestyle with Damams. Welcome guys. Thank you for tuning. Mega love shout out. 7 millions in the house. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Make more time.
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining. Hello guys. Welcome guys. Dance Nakapin from Heroin Vlog. At Lifestyle with Damams. Done to you from RGD Vlog. Thank you. I back po to tomorrow. Otherwise, from ano, at okay. From Lifestyle with Tahamam. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining guys. Thank you so much guys for everyone. Bigyan ng maraming kamayan yung nag-support po sa bawat isa. Guys, sabit lang ha, mga mo ko. Time out muna, mga 1 minute na po, 1 minute. Pabalik na po ako. Okay. Hello guys, welcome back. Mega love shout out po sa lahat. Mega love shout out 6 million in the house. Welcome po sa lahat. Thank you for joining and supporting to each other po. Salamat po sa lahat po. Lifestyle with Tahas, ma'am, dan po sa bahay mo from Bibs. Invite ko po kayo bukas 8 p.m. Pinas time sa Disco. 10 bananas pataas from host at iba pa from co-host. Salamat po from Bibs. Turkey sa videos. Okay guys, ito si Bibs guys, may release bukas 8 p.m. Pinas time. Please supportahan po natin si Bibs po. Okay ma'am, bukas po, punta po kami dyan sa mo, sa LS mo po. 8 p.m. Itong mo po, itong usukan po yung premiere mo. Thank you host from Lifestyle with Kahas ma'am. Okay, welcome. Salamat din po. Thank you po sa pag-join dito. Thank you po sa lahat. Thank you for joining po. Thank you po sa lahat. Welcome po sa lahat.
Make more time.
Connected host from Lifestyle with Tax, ma'am. Thank you po. Thank you po sa lahat na nagkuha nito, support sa live streaming ko. Welcome sa lahat po. God bless po. Okay. Salamat sa pa-burger pala from RJ Vlogs. Salamat po sa iyo sa pa-burger, ma'am. RJ Dan sa iyo from Caroline Vlog. Sa nakapin pala, please guys, pa-support ng nakapin guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for supporting each other. Skip mo na ako, gising na amo ko from Caroline Vlog. Okay po ma'am, thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us. This live streaming po. Welcome po. Thank you po sa mga tumikit from RTD Vlog. Welcome guys. Maraming salamat sa mga dumikit. Sana po mabisitan nyo din from Babes Turkey sa videos. Thank you po ma'am. Thank you ma'am Babes. Thank you po sa pa-member po. Nakanoted po yan sa iyo. Nakanoted po yan sa iyo ma'am. Yung 8 p.m. mo bukas na ilis, nakanoted po yan sa akin po ma'am. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting this ilis ma'am. Bukas ma'am sigurado yan. Hello guys, welcome guys. Thank you for joining. Sumulting host, salamat din po having me here. Welcome from Babes Turkey sa videos. Okay ma'am, thank you po. Thank you po sa membership. Paway ako bukas ha, sa akad mo, sa edit ko po. Welcome guys, thank you for joining. Magpa-music muna ako ha, kasi ikuan man eh. Mamaya na ako maghinto ng music kapag mayroon namang
10,000 men. All these drew the sword. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came unto the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until even and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days, and Phinehas, the son of
Welcome
Eleazar,
guys, thank you for joining.
stood before it in those days, saying, Shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother, or shall I cease? And the Lord said, Go up, for tomorrow I will deliver them into thine hand. And Israel set liers in wait round about Gibeah. And the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the
Connected
third
host,
day,
salamat po. Lifestyle,
against
wait ka.
Gibeah, as at other times.
Thank you
And
for
the children of
joining.
Benjamin went out against the people, and were drawn away from the city. And they began to smite of the people, and kill, as at other times, in the highways, of which one goeth up to the house of God, and the other to Gibeah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. And the children of Benjamin said, They are smitten down before us, as at the first. But the children of Israel said, Let us flee and draw them from the city unto the highways. And all the men of Israel rose up out of their place, and put themselves in array at
Host, please
Beth-Shemesh.
give me more
And the
bananas.
liers in wait of Israel came forth out of their places, even out of the
Okay, I
meadows.
will give you no problem.
And there came against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of all Israel, and the battle was sore. But they knew not that
Ilang
Gibeah
be?
was near them. And the
Idikit
Lord
ko sa'yo
smote
yung paano ko yung...
Benjamin before Israel. And the children of
Dikit lang,
Israel slaughtered of the
lifestyle.
Benjamites
Dikit lang ha.
20 and 5,000.
Bigyan kita ng 10 bananas. Ano?
All these
Mga lima, siguro tingnan ko na yung
So the
pag-account ko.
children of Benjamin saw that they were smitten, for the men of Israel gave place to the Benjamites, because
Welcome
they
po,
trusted unto the liers in
mga
wait
kapagsik.
they had set beside Gibeah. And the liers in wait hasted and rushed upon Gibeah.
Mga
And the
kapagsik
liers
TV,
in wait
welcome po
drew
sa'yo.
themselves along and
Bossing,
pierced
welcome po
all the
sa'yo.
city with the edge of the sword.
For
Now
1K.
there was an appointed sign between the men of
Okay,
Israel
bigyan
and
kita
the
ha.
liers in wait,
Lang.
that they should make a great flame with smoke rise up out of the city. And when the men of Israel retired in the battle,
Sige lang
Benjamin
ha.
began to
Si
smite
Kwan ko
and
to.
kill of the men of Israel
Yeah.
about 30 persons. For they said, Surely they are smitten down before us, as in the first battle. But when the flame began to arise up out of the city with a pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and
Bigyan kita
behold,
ng
the flame of the
2,
city
4,
was
6,
coming up
15,
to heaven.
10 bananas ha.
And when the men of Israel turned
Dami to.
again, the men of Benjamin were amazed, for they
10
saw
bananas
that
tayo.
evil was come upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel unto the way of the wilderness. But the battle overtook them, and them which came out of the cities they destroyed in the
Sige
midst
lang.
of them.
Isahin natin si...
Thus they enclosed the Benjamites round about, and chased them, and trode them down with ease over against Gibeah toward the sunrising. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were men of valor.
Ito mahirap kasi
And
kami
they
account
turned
eh.
and fled toward the
Hanapin ko
wilderness
muna ha.
unto the rock of
Tape
Rimmon.
lang.
And they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and pursued hard after them unto Gidom, and slew 2,000 men of them. So that all which fell that day of Benjamin were 20 and 5,000 men that drew the sword. All these were men of valor. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness
Welcome
unto
guys.
the
Thank
rock
you for
Rimmon,
joining guys.
and abode in the rock Rimmon 4 months. And the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin, and smote them with the edge of the sword, as well the men of every city, as the beast, and all that came to hand. Also they set on fire all the cities that they came to. Chapter 21. Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpeh, saying, There shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin to wife. And the people came to the house of God, and abode there till even before God, and lifted up their voices, and wept sore, and said, O Lord God of Israel, why is this come to pass in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel? And it came to pass on the morrow, that the people rose early,
Lifestyle with us, ma'am, ang
burnt offerings and peace
yung kwan mo,
and the children of
yung
Israel
sub mo, yung bananas mo, 694.
came not up to the congregation unto the
Okay,
Lord.
isa pa, isa, idikit yung isa. So ngayon, 695 ka na.
He shall surely be put to death.
May ads ka na.
The children of Israel repented them for Benjamin their brother, and said, There is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them of our daughters to wives? And they said, What one is there of the tribes of Israel that came not up to Mizpeh to the Lord? And behold, there came none to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, Go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the children. And this is the thing that ye shall do. Ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that hath lain by man. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had known no man by lying with any male. And they brought them unto the camp to Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. And the whole congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock Rimmon, and to call peaceably unto them.
Mga kapagsik TV,
And Benjamin
tawag
came
mo yung
again
bahay
that
mo.
time,
Kapatid,
and they gave them wives which they had saved alive of the
para
women of
ma-check
Jabesh
kita, para
Gilead.
makagamit
And
kita.
yet so they sufficed them not. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribes of Israel.
Guys,
And the
i-tips
elders of the
guys, tap na rin
congregation
guys
said,
ha.
How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? And they said, There must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin, that a tribe be not destroyed out of
Sige, Pips,
Israel.
bigyan kita ng pan-Pips. Bigyan
Howbeit, we
kita
may
ng
not give them wives of our daughters.
orange.
For the
Bananas.
children of Israel have sworn,
Teo,
saying, Cursed be he that giveth a wife to
para
Benjamin.
pawi ako sa'yo ha.
Then they said,
Si,
Behold,
guys,
there is a feast of the Lord in
mapay
Shiloh
kahit
yearly,
gayan.
in a place which is on the
Baga
north
supporting
side
each
of
other.
Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, and on the south of Lebonah. Therefore they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, Go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances. Then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. And it shall be, when their fathers or their brethren come unto us to complain, that we will say unto them, Be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserved not to each man his wife in the war. For ye did not give unto them at this time, that ye should be guilty. And the children of Benjamin did so, and took them wives according to their number, of them that danced whom they caught. And they went and returned unto their inheritance, and repaired the cities,
So,
and dwelt in them. And the children of Israel departed thence at that time, every man to his tribe and to his family. And they went out from thence, every man to his inheritance. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining.
The Book of Ruth. Chapter 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons.
Welcome
The
guys.
name
Thank
of
you
the
for
man was
joining.
Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi. And the name of his 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab, and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left, and her 2 sons. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. And they dwelled there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them. And the woman was left, of her 2 sons and her husband. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. Wherefore,
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys. Thank you for supporting guys.
and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her two daughters-in-law, Go, return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you, as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. The Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people. Naomi said, Turn again, my daughters. Why will ye go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have an husband. If I should say, I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes, that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. And they lifted up their voice and wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people, and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
if aught but death part thee and me.
Welcome po babes.
When she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, then she left speaking unto her. So they two went until they came to Bethlehem. And it came to pass, when they were come to Bethlehem, that all the city was moved about them.
Salamat host from babes.
And she
Nasa work ako, tambay lang. Okay po, walang problema po babes. Okay lang.
For the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with
Sweet
me.
naman pangalan mo
I
babes.
went out full, and the Lord hath brought me home again empty. Why then call ye me Naomi, seeing the Lord hath testified against me, and the Almighty hath afflicted me? So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab. And they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest. Chapter 2. Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, Let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him in whose side I shall find grace. And she said unto her, Go, my daughter. And she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers. And her hap was to light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, The Lord be with you. And they answered him, The Lord bless thee. Then said Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, Whose damsel is this? And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, It is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. So she came and hath continued even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, Hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maidens. Let thine eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they shall not touch thee? And when thou art athirst, go unto the vessels, and drink of that which the young men have drawn. Then she fell on her face, and bowed herself to the ground, and said unto him, Why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger? And Boaz answered and said unto her, It hath fully been showed me
Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys.
since the death of thine husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother, and the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knewest not heretofore. The Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord God of Israel, under whose wings thou art come to trust. Then she said, Let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for that thou hast comforted me, and for that thou hast spoken friendly unto thine handmaid, though I be not like unto one of thine handmaidens. And Boaz said,
Thank you for joining guys. Thank you guys.
Come thou hither, and eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel in the vinegar. And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her.
Make a love shout out guys.
And was sufficed, and
6 million in the
left.
house.
And when she was risen up to glean, Boaz Boaz commanded his young men, saying, Let her glean even among the sheep, and reproach her not. And let fall also some of the handfuls of purpose for her, and leave them, that she may glean them, and rebuke her not. So she gleaned in the field until even, and beat out that she had gleaned. And it was about an ephah of barley. And she took it up and went into the city. And her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. And she brought forth and gave to her that she had reserved after she was sufficed. And her mother-in-law said unto her, Where hast thou gleaned today? And where wroughtest thou? Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee. And she showed her mother-in-law with whom she had wrought, and said, The man's name with whom I wrought today is Boaz. And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of the Lord, who hath not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us, one of our next kinsmen. And Ruth the Moabitess said, He said unto me also, Thou shalt keep fast by my young men, until they have ended all my harvest. And Naomi said unto Ruth her daughter-in-law, It is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maidens, that they meet thee not in any other field. So she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz to glean unto the end of barley harvest, and of wheat harvest, and dwelt with her mother-in-law. Chapter 3. Then Naomi her mother-in-law said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself, therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in, and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me I will do. And she went down unto the floor, and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly
Welcome,
unto
guys.
his
Thank you
feet,
for
and laid her
joining.
down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followedst not young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest. For all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman, howbeit there is a kinsman nearer than I. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning, that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, well, let him do the kinsman's part. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of a kinsman to thee, as the Lord liveth. Lie down until the morning. And she lay at his feet until the morning, and she rose up before one could know another. And he said, Let it not be known that a woman came into the floor. Also he said, Bring the veil that thou hast upon thee, and hold it. And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley, and laid it on her. And she went into the city. And when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, Who art thou, my daughter? And she told her all that the man had done to her. And she said, These 6 measures of barley gave he me, for he said to me, Go not empty unto thy mother-in-law. Then said she, Sit still, my daughter, until thou know how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the thing this day. Chapter 4. Then went Boaz up to the gate, and sat him down there. And behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside, and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city, and said, Sit ye down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our
Welcome,
brother
guys.
Elimelech's.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining.
He's saying, Buy it before the inhabitants, and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know. For there is none to redeem it beside thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. Then said Boaz, What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar mine own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing, for to confirm all things. A man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, Buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, Ye are witnesses this day, that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel. And do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son.
Kaya love
And
shout
the
out
women
sa
said
na
unto Naomi,
all, sa na all na lang.
which hath not left thee
Ikaw
this
na
day
lang.
without a
Ikaw
kinsman,
na lang.
that his name may be famous in
Siya,
Israel.
welcome,
And
welcome,
he shall
welcome.
be
Make more time.
And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom, and became nurse unto it. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi.
Welcome guys, thank you for joining guys.
He is the
Mega
father.
mega love shout outs, 8 million in the house.
Now these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez begat Hezron, and Hezron begat Ram, and Ram begat Aminadab. And Aminadab
Welcome guys, thank you for joining guys, thank you for watching guys.
and Salmon begat Boaz, and Boaz begat Obed, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David.
The first book of Samuel.
Chapter 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts.
Tamsak, welcome, welcome.
And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there.
Aden Kier TV1, welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome buddy.
All her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion. For he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb.
Welcome guys, thank you for joining guys.
For to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. And Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat.
Dan sa nakapin. Salamat po. Salamat po.
And
Thank
they
you po,
rose
Ading
and
Clear
went
TV.
and worshipped before the Lord, and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time
Thank you for joining.
that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house
Patamsak lang po sa nakuan po.
sacrifice and his vow.
Don't forget po sa pana, naka-edit po.
She
Thumbs
said
up
unto her
tapos.
husband, I will not go up until the
Thank you, buddy. Baba po yung bahay mo, buddy. Bigyan kita ng 5 bananas.
And Elkanah her
Kasi namimigay ako eh. Early Christmas to.
tarry until thou have weaned him.
5 bananas po, bigyan kita. Baba mo yung house mo.
So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with 3 bullocks and 1
Okay.
ephah of flour and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in
Ito
Shiloh.
si Kwan, ito si Lifestyle. 3 na dikit ko. 2 na lang kulang. Pagkatapos sa kanya, ikaw naman ha.
O my Lord,
Kasi si Lifestyle lang kasi Kwan, si Babes. Dumidikit pa ako eh.
praying unto the Lord.
Kaya pagkatapos sa kanila, ikaw naman ha.
The Lord hath given me my
Thank you
petition.
for joining.
Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshiped the Lord there. Chapter 2. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoiceth in the Lord. Mine horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged.
Welcome guys. Thank you po. Thank you for joining.
There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry ceased. So the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor
Let's
out of the
focus.
dust, and
It came Pinas time from Babes Turkiza
and
Videos.
to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto
We love shout out 9 million in the house. Welcome sa lahat po.
Elkanah went to Ramah to his house. And the child did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest.
Erwin De Leon. Welcome, welcome.
The sons of Belial, they knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom was
May jacket ka na pare.
that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came while the flesh was in season,
Tamsak.
with a flesh hook of 3
Tamsak D.
and he struck it.
Welcome, welcome. At Adikir.
All that the flesh hook
Dan sa'yo.
So they did in Shiloh unto all
Erwin, pa suyo yung kapin. Ito si Juan.
the priest's
Ito si Bibs. Bago ko itong member,
flesh,
i-supportan natin ha.
for he will not have sought his
Salamat po Erwin, salamat po sa pa-join dito.
Let them not
Kasi
fail
po,
to
namigay
bring
pa ko ng 5 banana eh.
take as much as thy soul
Eh ito,
desires.
dami na binibigyan ko. Kasi isa lang muna.
Thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take
Si
it
Lifestyle, okay na po, nabigyan ng 5 bananas. Ngayon,
very cold.
ang next si Juan, si Adikir. Okay,
But Samuel ministered before
siya
the
naman ha.
Lord in a child, girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his
So guys, pasuyo po sa nakapin.
from year to year,
Si Adikir, TV1, supportan natin ha.
and Eli The Lord give thee seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their own home. And the Lord visited Hannah, so that she conceived, and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto all Israel, and how they lay with the women.
Adikir,
that
if you
assembled
want
at the
dance
door
sa'yo,
of the tabernacle.
dance sa bahay mo from
And he
Pips,
said unto them,
Turkey sa Picos.
Why do ye such things? For I
Erwin,
hear
ano
of
yun?
your evil dealings by all this people.
Okay. Yan po yung
Nay,
kan mo,
my
nagbaba
sons,
ng bahay mo.
for
Sige,
it is
sige.
no good report that I
Isahin ko na to.
Ye make the Lord's
Ito muna si
prophets
Adikir ha,
to
ikaw mo na to.
If one man sin against another,
Stipot lang, si isahin na muna.
if a
Tag-lima-limang
man sin
bananas to eh.
against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. And the child Samuel
Ikito si
grew large,
Heartless.
and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men. And there came a man of God unto Eli, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father, when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house?
Welcome guys, thank you for joining guys.
All the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer upon mine altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me? And did I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel? Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifice and at my
Erwin De Leon, bagdiyong dance sa bahay mo from
thy
Babes.
sons above me, to make yourselves
Thank you
fat
po.
to all the offerings of Israel my people? Wherefore the Lord God of Israel saith, I said indeed that thy house and the house of thy father should walk before me.
Mag-stipot ko tayong Erwin ha kasi nagpampa ko, nag-ayuda ako kay Adikir. Pagkatapos kay Adikir, sa'yo naman. Ito to. Mag-clear history mo ako para sa WH. WH, kailangan i-clear mo yung history. Okay. At Pips, dance sa'yo from Erwin. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for supporting each other. Si Adikir, dikit natin maayos ha. Magdikit tayo ng maayos tapos mag-iwan tayo ng bakas. Pasigurado talaga na yung dinikit natin hindi makuha, hindi maalis. Tapos panoorin natin kunti. Thank you for joining guys. Itong si Adikir, di ka pa kan bro. Adikir bro, di ka pa nakuha, di ka pa namuni bro. Sana Adikir, ito pa Adikir. Bro, saan ka na bro? Tanong ko lang sa'yo, di ka pa namuni? Kasi 1,000 pa ka na eh. 1,000 na yung sub mo. 1,030. Sige lang. Balik tayo. That's na lang to, ha? Hindi pa. Malay pang YH ko. Sa akin po, tingnan mo sa akin. Itong bin-account ko. Yung sub ko 1,000 pero yung munin ako. Para-paraan lang yan bro. Sige lang. Turuan kita paano. Dumikit ka lang sa akin palagi para turuan kita paano mag-achieve ng WH. Wala tayo mala LX. Teka, saan ka ba? Taga saan ka ba bro? Kailangan mo pumuni para makatira ka. Di ba? Kailangan ma-achieve mo yung kriteria na kuwan, 4,000 watts hour para mag-monetize ka ba? Kaya kailangan tulungan na dito para sigurado tayo kriteria ng kuwan, YT. Ano yun? Heart visual. Singapore. Teka, Singapore pala. Ilang, ilang buwan ka na sa kuwan? Ilang buwan ka na sa YT mo? Hello bro, ilang buwan ka na sa YT mo? Okay. Wala channel. Mga 1 month. So, malapit ka pala kasi 1 month ka pa lang, naabot na yung 1K mo sa akin. 3 months, di bago umabot ng 1K yung sub. Saka 3 months, within 3 months, nag-start ako ito, 1 eh. Yung sa account ko, nag-start ako August last week, August. Nagmuni ako last week, nagmuni, basta 5 days ago. Pinupusan ko yung ko, yung watts hour ko. Yung sub ko, pinupusan ko yung watts hour. Ito lang bro, continue lang bro. Upload ko lang mga videos mo. Starbucks. Starbucks ang trabaho pala. No? Ilan na dito? Isa, dalawa. Kapag maluwag, saka na ako mag-list. Okay. Pag kuhan, mag-D-off ka, list. Ako, naka-list ako ngayon si D-off ko eh. Pero maya, pabalik sa trabaho. Closing time. Ito tatlo na natik ko sa'yo, dalawa lang ko lang. Kasi ang next nito si Kwan eh. Ito. Si Erwin ang next. Wait lang ah. Dalawa lang ko lang, dalawa na lang. Asa naman to? Yung tinik ko sa'yo, nagpakas ako pa sigurado na talagang akin yun. Na galamay ko yung sa'yo. Kailang nanood ako ng 5 minutes para sigurado na yung tinik ko sa'yo, di siya malagas. Dalawa na lang ko lang sa'yo. Tapos ito. Sino ang next? Si... ano eh? Hello guys, welcome guys. Thank you for joining. 10 people in the house, welcome. Saan naman to? Okay. Kunti na lang, kunti na lang. Kunting tiis na lang. Kamsak host from KMA Team Fair, welcome. Bigyan ng jacket yan, para sigurado. Next ito si Erwin na icon ko, pin ko. Ito muna si Ate Kerr, tabuhin ko muna to. Dalawa lang ko lang para sigurado tong yung dikit talaga na may bakas pa. Welcome guys, thank you for joining my live streaming. Welcome guys. Okay na sa'yo, Ricker. Next na. Si Juan, Erwin. Okay guys, please nakapin po tayo ha. Supportan po natin si Juan, si Erwin. Welcome to Ricker. We have shout out 10 people in the house. Welcome guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us this live streaming. Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys. Supportan pa natin nakapin guys. Nakapin po tayo. Sa nakapin po. Okay. Antok na ako. Sakit lang ilagay ko na yung account ko para kay Erwin. Yun Erwin, pinapanood ko yung ano nga, yung palabas mo. Okay? Sige lang, itikat mo na to. Shadin, 28. Thumbs up to host from Eden Kero. Thank you. Salamat po kapatid. Thank you, bossing. Ito muna si Kwan, si Tarpoy ko muna si Panay. Si Erwin. Erwin Leon, Tarpoy ko muna ito. Nakadikit na yung isang account ko. Isang balance ko, apat na po lang. Kita ha. Pasigurado to. Tikitan ko sa bigyan ng bakas. Pasigurado kung wala. alagad. Wala eh. Oh, pangalawa, Erwin ha, pangalawa to. Pangalawang bananas na, may kasamang pa yan, may kasamang tampal yan, may kasamang pakas. Hello guys, welcome guys. Thank you for coming. 10 million in the house, welcome. Club shout out. Next. No, wait, wait. Hello guys, thank you for joining guys. Welcome guys, welcome. Dan sa nakapit, thank you po. 1828. Hindi kami love shout out sa lahat. Boss at sana all may pera ang pagkain sa misa. Parang si Kiko to ah. Siyawa. Parang si Kiko to, parang si Kiko. Nangampanya, manisip ka na eh. Hindi si Timper nangampanya ka. Siyawa. Okay na sa nakapin, okay na. Ayun. Welcome guys. Thank you for joining guys. Hi host. Pearly World. Okay, welcome. Welcome guys. At Pearly World. May jacket ka na. Erwin De Leon, ganap ko sa'yo. Nabigyan kita ng 5 bananas. Ito naman si Juan Shadin Ip. Ipin ko dito ah. Welcome guys. Thank you for joining. Welcome guys. Welcome, welcome. Wala pang customer.
Benjamin at Zelzah. And they will say unto thee, The asses which thou wentest to seek are found. And lo, thy father hath left the care of the asses, and sorroweth for you, saying, What shall I do for my son? And they will say unto thee, Then shalt thou go on forward from thence, and thou shalt come to the plain of Tabor, and there shall meet thee 3 men going up to God to Bethel, one carrying 3 kids, and another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a bottle of wine. And they After that thou shalt come to the hill of them, and shalt be turned into another man. And let it be, when these signs are come unto thee, that thou do as occasion serve thee, for God is with thee. And thou shalt go down before me to Gilgal, and behold, I will come down unto thee, to offer burnt offerings, and to sacrifice sacrifices of peace offerings. 7 days shalt thou tarry, till I come to thee, and show thee what thou shalt do.
Pearly, may jacket na na. Baba ng bahay mo.
God gave him another heart, and all those signs came to pass.
Sa nakapin ko na deck.
And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a
Pearly,
company
may
of
jacket
prophets
na na.
met
Baba
them,
ng bahay
and
mo.
the Spirit of God came upon him, and he prophesied among them. And it came to pass, when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets,
Pearly, may
then the
jacket
people
na na.
said
Baba
one
ng
to
bahay
another,
mo.
What is this that is come unto the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? And one of the same place answered and said, But who is their father? Therefore it became a proverb, Is Saul also among the prophets? And when he had made an end of prophesying, he came to the high place. And Saul's uncle said unto him and to his servant, Whither went ye? And he said, To seek the asses. And when we saw that they were nowhere, we came to Samuel. And Saul's uncle said, Tell me, I pray thee, what Samuel said unto you. And Saul said unto his uncle, He told us plainly that the asses were found. But of the matter of the kingdom whereof Samuel spake, he told him not. And Samuel called the people together unto the Lord to Mizpeh, and said unto the children of Israel, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought up Israel out of Egypt, and delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all kingdoms, and of them that oppressed you.
Hello
And ye
guys.
have this
Thank
day
you for
rejected your
joining
God, who
the
himself
streaming.
saved you out of all your adversities and your tribulations. And ye have said unto him, Nay, but set a king over us. Now therefore present yourselves
Hello
before
guys.
the Lord by
Thank
your
you for
tribes and
joining
by your
the streaming.
thousands. And when Samuel had caused all the tribes of Israel to come near, the tribe of Benjamin was taken. When he had caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near by their families, the family of Matri was taken, and Saul the son of Kish was taken. And when they sought him, he could not be found. Therefore they inquired of the Lord further, if the man should yet come thither. And the Lord answered, Behold, he hath hid himself among the stuff. And they ran and fetched him thence. And when he stood among the people, he was higher than any of the people from his shoulders and upward. And Samuel said to all the people, See ye him whom the Lord hath chosen, that there is none like him among all the people? And all the people shouted and said, God save the king. Then Samuel told the people the manner of the kingdom, and wrote it in a book, and laid it up before the Lord. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house. And Saul also went home to Gibeah, and there went with him a band of men, whose hearts God had touched. But the children of Belial said, How shall this man save us? And they despised him, and brought him no presents. But he held his peace. Chapter 11. Then Nahash the Ammonite came up, and encamped against Jabesh Gilead, and all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahash, Make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, On this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes.
Thank you so much, guys, for the support, for
And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, Give us 7 days respite.
for joining here. Thank you, guys.
All the coasts of Israel.
And
then-
talk na si host for the support, for
Then came the messengers to Gibeah of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears
for
of the
joining
people.
here. Thank you, guys.
And all the people lifted up their voices and wept.
And talk na si
And
host.
behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field. And Saul said, What aileth the people that they weep? And they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard those tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly. And he took a yoke of oxen, and hewed them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the coasts of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, Whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out with one consent. And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And they said unto the messengers that came, Thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, Tomorrow by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and showed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, Tomorrow we will come out unto you, and ye shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you. And it was so on the morrow, that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered.
Okay, guys, hanggang dito lang muna ako. Bukas ulit.
And the people said unto Samuel,
Bukas, the same time. So, mag-start siguro ako ng ilis. Same time, same time. 7 a.m. morning until now, 10 a.m. So, Saudi time, Middle East. So, sa ngayon, step muna ako, guys. Salamat pala sa support. Salamat kay Ma'am Jonah de la Cruz, Ma'am Leslie, RJ Vlog, at salamat kay Babes sa ka-member niya. Nag-member sa akin. Salamat po sa palipad sa mga burger from RJ Vlog. Sa lahat po ng nanonood po dito sa ilis ko. God bless po sa lahat. Sana po manood po kayo sa mga uploaded ko na videos tungkol po sa Word of God. Guys, salamat po sa lahat sa walang sawang pag-suporta sa ko, sa YouTube ko. Sa lahat po, maraming salamat at God bless po sa lahat. Hanggang dito na pa ako. Sulit.